I have to wonder just what's going on here. I mean, no one has posted since Mozza made his question. I'm confused here. Is there something I'm missing? Did we all suddenly decide not to do it and I wasn't aware? Or do we all just have our separate reasons why? You know, possibly very good reasons. I'm not angry here. I'm just wondering just what's going on here. And unless Mozza's been told about this, then I'm sure he is too. So, what's up, guys? Where are all the videos? Okay, so do we live in an abstract world? Well, I'm simply going on interpretation here because I'm not entirely sure if I've got it exactly right, as in, you know, what the question's about. Okay, so just so that everyone knows where I'm coming from, this is what I'm going by here. An abstract structure is a formal object that is defined by a set of laws, properties, and relationships in a way that is logically, if not always, historically independent of the structure of contingent experiences. For example, those involving physical objects. So basically, an abstract world would have its own set of laws and properties, everything like that, and it would be independent of the physical world. Now, already we see a problem, so I'm going to answer Mozza's second question first, in which he says, is there any meaning to what he said? And obviously, if we're saying that it has to be independent from the real world, then no, there's no meaning to it at all, because we're actually describing the real world. We're saying that the real world is the abstract thing that we're talking about. So what I think I'm going to have to do now is assess the question of, you know, these laws, these properties. Where do they come from? Why are they here? Did someone else actually, you know, like the examples given by Mozza, did anyone actually program them in as, you know, parameters for this, for the operation of this world, if you like? I don't know how successful I'm going to be here. It's going to be extremely difficult to explain what I mean. If you're a theist, you would say that God created these parameters, or I don't know, you'd have to logically deduce that or something. But seeing as how we're atheists, that presents quite a massive problem, because how do we explain that these in particular are the ways in which the universe functions? Why is it E equals mc squared and not E equals mc cubed, for example? Well, the E equals mc squared example is a result of already existing formulae. It's what you deduce from the ones you already have. Or at least I think that, and I think it can probably be applied to every other formula. This is what I'm using to... this is where I'm getting this theory that it's all connected by just previous formulae, because here it says, in natural units the speed of light is defined equal 1, and the formula expresses an identity E equals m. But in the SI system, expressing the ratio E stroke m in joules per kilogram using the value of c in meters per second. Yeah, all that. I don't know, I may be completely wrong. Now if we trace this back, like I said, you know, all formulae are connected to some, you know, initial formula. Let's just take, for example, you know, v equals d over t, you know, velocity equals distance over time. That's just something we use to model velocity. We've just made it that way. So, you know, distance over time is meters per second. That's us, that's not really the world, that's how we've modelled it. So that still doesn't really help us. You see how difficult this is. So let's try something else. Here is some sellotape. Bet you know what's going to happen now, don't you? Why did it fall to the ground? Gravity. And it fell quite fast, do you agree? But what about this hanky? Okay, let me try that again. Well, that was in a ball. That fell fast in a ball, but what if I spread it out? Like this. See how much slower it fell? Probably didn't follow it well enough with the camera, but that's due to air resistance. Air resistance impedes gravity. It slows the object down, and because of air resistance you get something called terminal velocity, where the air resistance is equal to the force of gravity, so it falls at this constant, it falls at this speed where beyond that it can't go any faster unless it's pushed down somehow further or impeded further, in which case it would either go faster or slower respectively. So if we're going to get anywhere, we'd have to ask a question, why is it that when there's two forces, why is it that when the forces are in balance, the object stays at whatever speed it's at? Why is that? This goes way, way, way beyond my knowledge of, my GCSE level knowledge of physics. I could only speculate that that's just simply the way things are. That's simply the way this universe works. And then there doesn't need to be any further explanation. Everything's just deduced that way from a single point, and that's the only way it can be. Now, as to whether this as to what this says about whether this world's abstract and not the. I said it has no meaning, but you know what I mean when I say abstract. So, is the world that way? Well, I hope this is going to be clear enough what I'm about to say. Is this an abstract world in that it's just a world that was modelled, or appears to be modelled in a certain way, or forget the whole model thing. It just happens to be this way for whatever reason, if you like. Is it simply that way and it could be another way? I don't think so. It logically has to be that way. This is the only way the universe could have turned out with these particular, laws of nature, laws of physics, laws of whatever you like. That's the only way it could have happened. That's what I think. That's as far as I can possibly go. Because this is. I don't know if anyone. I don't know if there's a field devoted to studying this stuff, but if there is, those are the people you'd have to go to. But this is as far as I can go with the knowledge I have. So I hope it's somewhat reasonable. I know that it's maybe that's why no one else did it, because no one can really give a decent answer. But well, there you go. I tried. So I hope this is somewhat reasonable, Mozza. It was a very interesting question. Thank you for asking it. Like I said, I had a field day with it. So yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Oh, I'm also going to immediately put up Rosebush's response to my question just right after this one, so be on the lookout for that as well.